Hello everybody, this video is something a little bit different, but I'm really happy to be making it. And as you can see, I got a couple familiar faces with me here from my live stream campaigns, Adam and Warsor. What's up, guys?
Hey, hello, Esper.
So I recently stumbled across a Kickstarter for Beyond Shadowgate and about jumped out of my chair. Not many things get me this excited, but when I was a kid, I played the original Shadowgate on Nintendo, and that game had a big impact on me. The cryptic puzzles, the atmosphere, the dark gothic setting, the kind of tension to it all. It really influenced me a lot. And if you've watched my Eldritch Castle interactive adventure here, that D&D adventure is directly inspired by Shadowgate. And so when I saw that Kickstarter, I had to back it immediately. And I reached out to the creator and actually got to talk to him, Dave Marsh, the guy behind the original Shadowgate, which was an absolute honor and pleasure for me to get to chat with him. And so here I am. I haven't actually played it yet, so I'm going to run through this demo that they have available on their Kickstarter for the first time ever, and have a couple of my buddies along with me, so you guys can get our reaction to it.
And watch him struggle to navigate through a series of mazes.
Yes.
Instead of the YouTube viewers.
Warsor, you were mentioning that you also played the original Shadowgate.
I did. My history is similar to yours. As a child, my father had an an Apple IIgs computer, and he had the little 4-inch hard disk of Shadowgate that you put in there, and we played it together. And that was one of the first games I remember playing with him. I would sit in his lap or beside him, and he'd control things, but he'd ask me what I want to do, and I'd say, use the sword, on the thing, and we tried and we'd die, and then he'd, say, let's do this, and we played it together, and we never actually finished the game together. But I went back and I kept playing it by myself, and it taught me all these D&D things, that stuck with me, these adventure sort of things. And I really just love the game.
Yeah, it's a unique game. It's not a game where it's like you have this set, like you have just your sword and your shield and maybe a magic spell, and they always do this one thing. You had to figure out how to use all these different items in creative ways. It involved more creative thinking on the part of the player.
And it lets you make mistakes and learn from your mistakes. Like, there was a lot of things in that game where you could get it into a no-win state. You could actually do something, throw away a critical item into a place that you couldn't recover it from. And that was like a Sierra games, adventure games back at the you could get into these no-win states, and it encouraged you to save often, to multiple save, and it was very challenging. It was unforgiving in a way that a lot of games today aren't.
Yeah, it was a brutal, very cryptic, no hand-holding game with... I call it the most violent and grisly game on the NES. Now, it didn't, in graphics, didn't visually show you all the gruesome deaths you could endure, but the text would describe them. And man, those things like really filled my imagination.
Oh, I'm sure we could go through and
shatter the wrong mirror, and the shards slice you into slivers. Or you could kill yourself by plunging the sword into your own heart.
Into yourself. Yeah, it's okay. You did that too. It wasn't just me. What was your favorite death, if you had to pick one that you recall?
Oh, gosh. Isn't there one where you like fall through a rope bridge down into a pit of zombies and they like eat you?
Yeah. I don't know if it's a pit of zombies, but there's definitely...
I might be embellishing something, or maybe I'm remembering it a little bit inaccurately, but I just remember a pit with like the moans of the undead at the bottom, and you could fall off the edge or off of a rope bridge.
There are many bottomless pits and pits to the depths of terrible things.
Here's one. You shatter the wrong mirror, and you don't get sliced into slivers, but you get sucked out into the void of the nether, like the nether beyond. That freaked me out.
I'm sure you can find a little clip of that, I'm sure.
Or isn't there like a slime that falls out of that one sarcophagus and it like dissolves you?
I remember there's a slime. I don't think it insta-kills you, but I might be forgetting something. I know that there was one where like a shrieker jumps out of one of the sarcophagi.
Yeah, there was a jump scare.
It deafens you, and that does something to you later, but I don't recall what it was. But it's not an insta-death. It just puts you in a more damaged state.
There was a lot of tension in certain moments in that game. Like I can still hear the music, like when you're on your last torch and it's burning low.
Yeah.
And when you're in the that long corridor with the dragon that breathes fire out of the dark tunnel, which that was inspiration for that one moment in the gauntlet in Mirrormorn.
I remember. As soon as you had that gauntlet, I was like, I know where this is from.
The music of that game just like haunts my imagination. So why don't we jump in and we'll play Beyond Shadowgate and see what this sequel of decades.
We'll come back at the end to more stuff about the game itself, the old game.
All right, let's check this out.
This is just a demo, guys. It's nothing.
Yeah, this is just the demo, everyone. So keep that in mind.
Proof of concept.
35 years have passed. The land of Kal Torleen has prospered. The events of Shadowgate are slipping away from memory, but evil is stirring. And now, is this a siege? It looks like a siege there. Gwynwithel, the shining jewel of Kal Torleen, has lost its king. Civil war is sweeping across the land. Amid the madness, a poor Finling has been cast into a dreary dungeon at the mercy of murderous prison guards. What is this here? Some kind of ghost?
You'll find out.
That ghost thing really stands out. That looks very different than anything I've ever seen in Shadowgate.
Well, it definitely looks like some sort of sprite.
Yeah.
So,
is this
sure
volume
we'll
good for
out.
you guys on the music?
Yeah,
could you turn it down slightly for me?
Just turn it down slightly. Okay.
Otherwise, I have trouble hearing you.
I'm gonna take it down a tick. All right.
Thank you.
Let's do file 1, new game. Okay.
All right.
Oh my gosh. You are a carefree Finling named Del Thornborough who has the knack for accidentally acquiring things.
Yes.
Well, there is a rotating hourglass. Okay, there were not animations in the original one like that. I guess I just click. All right. You've been accused, unjustly in your mind, of stealing a small trinket from the hand of the Duchess of Tramehelm. I think Duchess has a T in the word. The Duke didn't seem to understand that you were merely safekeeping the bauble for the Duchess. Against the riff-raff and low-lifes that are commonly found in the capital city of Gwynenthel, unceremoniously dumped into this dark cell, you wonder at your fate and at the horrible luck that deprived you of a fair trial. Hoarse from shouting and bored beyond the limits of even the most tolerant Finling, you realize you might as well focus on escaping. Yeah, I second that. All right, so what do we have here? Door, lock, a manacle chained to the wall.
Can I take a moment just to talk about the interface?
Yeah.
Well, it's very old school. As you can see, they've got buttons for taking, using, opening, closing, speak. So it's like, it's already got you thinking in these sort of ways. You have to use these buttons to interact with the world around you. And these are classic adventure game actions. Like if you look back at anything from like the 90s, you'll see it's usually in button form, either at the top of the screen or somewhere like that.
And you select an action, and then you click it onto the screen. By the way, I checked. Duchess does not have a T, so I stand corrected.
I didn't want to correct you, but I was like, nope, that's not right, Esper.
Yeah.
Unless
Well,
she's
Dutch.
a Duchess.
The word Dutch has a T, but Duchess does
Yes.
not. Okay, which makes sense. I mean, those are completely different things. All right, so let's see what's in the hay. I'm gonna look in the hay. Looking the dry straw over, you decide against lying down upon it. This straw is fit for nothing less than kindling for a bonfire. Okay,
Well,
let's
we do
look
have
in the
a flint
grating.
and a farthing.
Oh, okay, a farthing's a coin, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
metal and
Flint.
flint.
We have metal and flint, so we can burn. Aha, okay, yep. Let's look in the drain cell. The dark and damp cell confirms your belief that this is the most inhospitable dungeon in which you've ever been incarcerated. Let's see, can we move this chain? You're unable to move there. Okay, move is like you move, right?
Like you moving,
Right.
taking or using would be.
It did not work. Okay, so there's nothing there. And let's look out the door. The sturdy door looks to be a formidable barrier. You should know because you kicked at it for a good 5 minutes after they threw you in here. This is bringing me back so much. Oh my gosh. Oh, and look, the Grim Reaper's right there just waiting for us to get killed. Okay,
Yep.
so let's use the... let's see, you want to strike the farthing onto the flint, right?
Just trying to think if there's something else we need to do with the hay first.
I'm not going to say anything.
The item's
Yeah.
useless here. Huh.
You probably just want to use the flint.
Yeah, we'll just
Okay.
use the flint directly, huh? Okay. Okay, we'll use it on the straw then. With great expertise, you strike the flint against the straw, creating a small shower of sparks. Wouldn't you strike the metal upon the flint and shower sparks onto the straw?
This will be something you should bring
Yeah.
to the creator, and I think that he'll probably update it to like flint and steel
Yeah.
or something.
Okay.
Just for
All right. So
You know what I mean?
flint is to be understood as flint and steel, but really you wouldn't strike the straw. You'd strike metal onto the flint and create sparks.
I agree with you, Esper. I just think it's a demo, and I think that the
Sure.
intent is for flint and steel.
Yeah, yeah. Despite your effort, none take hold and the flame does not yet appear. Okay, so it's too damp
not
in here,
enough.
huh?
Well, the straw is described as dry.
There's a couple things in the straw. If you look at the pixels, you can see some sparks through there now.
Yeah, like
Right.
little embers, huh?
So
should
maybe
we
you
use
need to
it
do it
again?
again.
Yeah, let's use it
You've
again.
already activated it.
Oh,
Right.
look, okay, so these like little dark squares show that it's already on use flint.
Yep.
You strike the flint, creating another shower of
Okay.
sparks that land upon the straw. You jump with glee as the straw slowly starts to burn. All right, let's try it again.
All right.
Okay. There we go.
Well,
Are we gonna die from smoke? Oh, smelling the smoke, the guard comes rushing to the cell. This is the murderous jailer, huh?
I think
Oh, I have an idea.
You hear keys jangling as he releases the lock and
I
pulls
think
the
Adam's
door
got
open.
the.
Surprisingly quick for such a heavy man, the jailer rushes forward and grabs you by the neck. You'll not be playing any more your silly games, says the jailer as he begins to choke you. As his hands tighten, the world begins to fade and you wonder if the guy knows he has bad breath.
Okay.
All right, Esper, I revised my thoughts now. You're going to die a lot more than 2
Okay.
as my guesstimate before the thing.
All right, so we're not getting the classic death music, that which I always loved that music. No one escapes the Reaper. Okay.
And
All right.
you don't
Well-
need to save as often because it takes you back to the last decision you made that was saved.
Okay.
Okay, so this
So-
time, the idea that springs to mind in my mind is there must be some way to use that chain and that manacle. Maybe you can hook that to the table leg so that way when you start the fire, the guard will trip over it.
Well, may I make a suggestion?
Okay.
I've already played the demo, everyone, so I'm not going to make any comments. My suggestion is a general suggestion. Because you can't use that. Look at everything. Always look at everything before you do anything. So
Right.
click everywhere see if it gives you ideas.
Judging by the scrape marks, you guess that this bench is not bolted
Okay.
to the floor. Okay. So move is right. The move moves your character, moves you.
Correct.
So we can hit, you punch things.
Correct.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, use bench.
But you're just a tiny halfling, fenling,
Right.
Oh, is
so,
Finling
like,
a halfling? Is that what that is?
I assume that's what that is.
Your name
Because
is like
a fin is like a swamp or a marsh or
Right.
something.
It could be that he's a human that lives in the marsh. I don't know.
Grunting with
It
some
wasn't his
effort,
name, like-
you push the heavy bench across the cell until it rests against the front of the door. All right, so that could maybe block or slow down the jailer
or trip him.
or trip him. Okay, so why don't we? Yeah, let's go ahead and spark it up again.
Well, wait. Before you do that, what if the chain is now usable? The table,
Okay.
just to see if it does anything at all.
I love that line. What you expected did not happen. I
There we
say that line in my D&D campaigns, and I got it from
Yeah.
Shadowgate.
Nice.
Oh man, this is hitting me right in the feels, guys. All right, so can we burn the straw again?
Click on the flint and see.
Yeah. There might be something else, but worth a try.
Anything has changed? No, nothing has changed. Okay. All right, let's do this.
Oh wait, what if you move onto the table? Can you stand on the table and get a better view first?
Move always is like moving to a different room. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
moving. It's not moving. You don't ever move around a room.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so let's spark this up again. Okay. Right. And number 3. Here we go.
There we go.
Okay. Fall into the fire and burn your face. Ha ha ha.
Nice. There we
Smell
go.
the smoke. The guard comes rushing to the cell. You hear keys jangling as he releases the lock and pulls the door open. In his haste to rip your head from your shoulders, he fails to notice the bench. You can't help but smile at the astonished look on his face before he takes a rather ungraceful dive and drops his keyring in the process.
Excellent.
I will take that. Thank you. Pick up the jailer's keys, and let's go ahead and move. Classic. Desolate Hall. Okay, so each area now has a name to it. That's cool.
Nice.
You lithely jump over the bench as you exit the cell. Realizing you are still in a dungeon, you stifle your excitement and keep your eyes open for danger. Knowing that the door to your cell is still open, you wonder if that guard could still be a threat. Okay, so
I'm gonna close the door, I would think.
close. You quickly close the cell door and smile as you hear the lock slide into place. That takes care of that brute, you think.
Oh,
An ephemeral creature appears before you. It speaks.
From the intro.
Tee-hee! Yeah, look at you, Dell. What an interesting thing you are. I foresaw you rotting in that cell forever. And yet, here you are, defying your fate. This could be such fun. I believe our journeys follow a similar path. Is this thing gonna, like, be your hint giver?
could be.
So I will join you for now. Much danger lies ahead, and I will give you advice should it please me. I
So
hope there's an
now-
option to like quiet that thing down and not get the hints.
No, it does not give you hints unless you click on.
Okay.
So
Performing
I read
magic
this-
for you mortals is so tiring, though. So let me rest after I help. Adventure
Yeah.
awaits, and I find this dungeon quite tiresome. Let's go.
I played the game, and now you see him in the bottom right-hand corner.
I see that.
That if you
Okay.
click on that, it will give you a hint,
Gives
but
you a
you don't
hint.
need that.
It's an
Okay.
option for modern tastes.
It
It's
is definitely a
there.
modern thing, yeah.
Yeah.
It even has kind of a Pokemon look to it. And it's a ghost, so like it could phase in and out and just kind of appear anywhere, so it's very convenient.
Right.
I would rather actually it be like an NPC in the dungeon, like a cloaked. You think
At
you
least it
can
doesn't ask you to listen.
survive here, huh? And you have to like talk to this haggardly old crypt keeper. Okay, let's keep playing though.
Let's look out the window.
Yeah, let's look out. Looks like a cemetery hill. Even standing on your toes, you can't see out the window. Okay. The floor, maybe? The bleak dungeon corridor reminds you that you are still in danger. Okay, I think we already heard that. Door ahead. You hear the sound of movement echoing in the distance. More guards, maybe? All right, well, let's just go ahead and move. Do we need to save? Or is this an auto-save now?
I think
Save progress.
You can save.
Progress saved. Okay, there we
It
go.
is not necessary for purposes of, like, if you die, you will just rewind.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and move ahead. Is that Minotaur I saw a screenshot of? I saw a Minotaur image in the Kickstarter page. Cell block 1. Trapdoor maybe, or pit trap. Rusted iron grill is securely fastened into place. The putrid smell it emits immediately tells you what it's commonly used for. Hey, there's a torch. The flickering light from this torch momentarily mesmerizes you. You are not tall enough to remove the torch from its holder. You don't feel like you need it anyway. Okay. A hulking beast, a minotaur by the look of the horns, patrols the hallway, mere feet in front of you. Well, that's quite interesting. The mascot monster class of Monstrous Heroes is the minotaur.
Nice.
Couple doors, one's barred, it looks like. As you investigate the locked cell door, you notice it is stained. Your stomach gives a lurch, hoping the stain is not what you think it is. The wooden boards are too tightly jammed into their brackets to move. You are familiar enough with dungeons to know there is no unlocking this door. Maybe they'll become available later, once the full game's out. They just need that area to be closed off at the moment. Alright, so I think the Minotaur will kill us, but maybe it can fall through this pit. So let's speak to the Minotaur. Maybe like taunt it and it'll come running and fall through the rusted grill.
My other potential thought would be throw the coin, but I don't know, that could be an item we need for later.
Let's try speaking first.
Okay.
Oh, that didn't work. With a look of pure hatred, the Minotaur hefts his axe and emits a snarl filled with rage. The glint of the blade flashes before your eyes as he neatly separates your head from your shoulders.
I want the record to know that I made it through this entire section without dying once. I died to 2 things at the end of the demo. So, good for you, Esper, testing all these deaths.
Yeah, I enjoy seeing
I'm not so
the deaths.
surprised.
I enjoy seeing the different demises. All right,
yeah,
so
but
let's
I'm
go with Adam's
surprised.
idea. Let's go ahead and
Use the coin?
Yeah, let's
It
use
might
the
not be the
coin.
best idea, but it also might work. I don't know.
Maybe we bribe the Minotaur.
Oh,
What do you want to
or
use
I
it
feel
on?
like there's a lot of logic here that's being overlooked.
Okay, what do you think, Adam? Throw it on the ground? Like right here?
Well,
Or try to
well,
give it to the Minotaur?
the other thing, you're talking about logic.
Well, he doesn't fall down the pit because he just rushed us and he didn't fall down.
It's not a pit, it's a grate.
Right.
Well, the
Also,
rusty
okay, the other
grate
thing-
doesn't collapse, is what I mean.
No,
The
it
thing, you
does
do
not.
have the keys. You could just unlock that door on the left, right?
Yes. Wait, is the Minotaur's back toward us? I can't tell.
Correct. That's why he's not
Oh,
rushing you.
okay.
He's patrolling the hallway, but he's currently
Okay.
walking away from you
I actually
in
just now
this
saw
frozen second.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't catch that initially. Okay, yeah, let's unlock the door that we hope is not covered in shite. Oh, there was a little lock.
Pretty sure it was blood.
that. Yeah.
Blood. Okay.
Yeah.
With a satisfying click, the bolt inside the lock releases. Okay, so now we... Sometimes you have to open doors. Yeah, okay. The hinges groan as the door slowly opens. Let us move.
Oh,
Isolated cell. Another grill. The smell of iron and rot assault your nostrils, and you feel a terrible sensation as you gaze upon the remains of a once living person. Uh-huh.
looks like
I
he's holding something.
assumed this person was once living and was not just born a skeleton, an adult skeleton. Alright, let's look at this door from afar. The main dungeon hall lies outside the cell.
I think that's where
Now-
we just were.
Does he have something here? I see a brown
Looks
something.
like it, yeah.
Why don't you look at it?
look even closer, get on the exact right pixel.
You
Ah,
don't probably have to hit the exact pixel.
fine leather
But, yeah.
strap with the crest of Gwynenthel engraved into a diamond-shaped center. You remove the remnants of the strap from the skeleton. The ominous sound of steps can only be the Minotaur approaching. You
As soon as this is done, you'll have a limited time.
Uh-huh.
So as soon as the hourglass stops spinning,
Yeah,
notice
yeah.
how the eyes are
And I see
flashing
the
in
eyes
skull.
flashing red, and we got a little red box outline. Okay. That's
In the
a cool
full game,
little...
you'll have an option to turn that into turn-based, rather than timed.
Okay. That's a cool
So
way to
you'll
do
have
it.
like a
How
limited
many
amount
moves?
of actions.
Uh-huh.
Correct.
As your mind races, your new friend pipes up. The new friend. Oh, the little ghost girl. Tee-hee!
Yeah.
The eyes of the Reaper are upon you. Such fun. I like that she does taunt you, though. That's pretty cool. You have mere seconds before death takes you, so shut up! Let me go! Move!
Oh.
Whoa! What?
You ran out into the hall with the Minotaur.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
Is that the
I'm
same
counting your
place?
deaths.
Is that the same
Yes,
place?
that's the hallway.
Yeah.
That's
there's
literally
only one door
the
into
hallway
it.
that you just came in from, Esper.
It's a prison cell. There's only one door.
Yeah, it's the prison
Yeah.
cell. One door, Esper.
But there's an open.
You're
I
seeing
guess
the
since
other
I guess since
elements
it's a
of the
skeleton,
hallway.
it can be open. It's just a dead body in there.
What? No,
Is that-
you unlock the door, Esper. You unlock
That's
the door.
the door
you
that I
walk into a
unlocked.
cell.
Yeah.
Yes, and
It's
you open
just
the door.
it's just the one cell. Okay, I got it
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's see this.
All
Without
right.
warning, the hulking figure of the Minotaur appears in front of you, crushing the skeleton under its weight. Before you can utter a sound, an axe tears your body asunder. Mercifully, your death took but a heartbeat.
You're on 3 deaths, Esper.
I mean, by definition, don't they all?
I don't know.
You are dead, and so is all hope for Khal Torlin. I like that it's sticking with the old school style. Like, it doesn't give you hit points or something. It's just, you live or you die.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
adventure games for you. Otherwise, it would be an RPG.
Right.
Yeah. Okay,
All right,
so
Esper,
I
quick.
understand now.
Quick. Think quick, Esper. That's the same thing.
Was that the same door?
Yeah.
Yes, there's one door. Okay, you're on 4 deaths,
Oh,
Esper.
right.
Yeah. That
We're
was-
tracking this. We got Death Tracker.
Well, use that. I'll give you that.
Okay, I think I'm with the program now. I've
Okay. No more
Maybe
deaths,
try-
Esper. You got
Try
this.
closing the door this time, perhaps.
That's a good suggestion, Adam.
I don't know it'll help, but I mean, it might buy some time.
Okay, let's close the door. I'm very glad that I've been dying. Oh, I can see the Minotaur's eye out there. The door shuts moments before the hideous face of the Minotaur appears behind the bars. He catches the faintest trace of your scent and stands firm just outside the doorway. Do we use the leather strap to rip open the grating, maybe?
Possibly.
You hear the heavy thud
You
of
just have
footsteps
to
echo in the distance
That's all
as the
you have
Minotaur
to
gives
do.
up and continues his patrol.
Alright.
You
Just have to be
survived
patient.
again. Remember this, Del. Well, that might be a little generous. You must act quickly when you sense the Reaper's gaze, or you will surely perish.
Well, it's got to
Really? You don't say!
Well, now you know the mechanic, Esper. 4 deaths. Let's see how this goes.
Alright, so we can't use it to, like, pry open the grate, which, whatever.
Presumably,
that was
though, we can go back out into the hall and the Minotaur
It was a
has
good
moved
thought.
on.
I did think of that myself, but usually there's a hint of some sort if you can use an item a certain way.
Right, like how the table in the first room had the,
Mhm.
the scratch marks on the floor.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Alright, so now we can
Well,
go
you're
where the
back
Minotaur
in the
went.
hall.
Alright, so
Minotaur's
I'm
not
to
there
take it that
anymore.
we just can't open this door in the demo.
Yeah, that door is, as per the description, unopened.
Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and move along. Okay, there's the Minotaur continuing his patrol, sure.
Alright, so this is like the same as the other hallway.
This locked cell door is strongly built, ensuring that those imprisoned within will not get out. Okay. These strong wooden boards are used for barring the door. Judging by their size, you quickly realize there is no getting in or out of the cell. Okay. All right, so this is kind of similar to the last room, or the last corridor. We're going to use the jailer keys and unlock the door. Unlock the door. Using the jailer's keys, you release the lock, holding the door shut. Okay, and we'll open it. And move within. Okay, so the Minotaur... We need to shut the door.
Okay,
again.
so it's happening again.
You hear his breath beyond the door, sending chills through your body. The Minotaur continues his patrol. You are safe for now. Alright, so we're going to speak with John here. Robin, give my ring to my sister. Who are you, Finling? It matters not. I am Edward of the King's Guard, master of the artillery division. Moons ago, we were escorting the king to the southern docks when we were ambushed by assassins. While many soldiers of the guard were killed, a few of us were imprisoned here to rot. The smells of this dungeon are of Gwynenthel, which tells me that friend has turned foe. I know nothing else, but I may be able to help you. Ye have no hope in combat against the Minotaur. You think? Perhaps ye can use this rope to build a ranged weapon. Find a cradle and a small projectile.
So that's where the leather strap and the farthing come into play.
Uh-huh.
No, the farthing is the best projectile. It's like a coin.
Well, or the flint, I mean, or if we can find a pebble.
You lean forward and extend your fingers far to grab the rope, trying to keep as far away from the malodorous prisoner as possible. Okay. So,
Have we looked around
leather
this
strap
room?
plus rope equals
Maybe we should
sling?
look around this room.
Is that,
first.
Sling.
is that what we're thinking? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe look around. Just
Well, I'm going to build the sling.
sure. There we go.
Yeah. You're not sure if you should feel mischievous or heroic at the moment. I'm not sure either. Okay, what should we look at? Drain? Look at these wall stones
just
here.
See if there's anything.
Look
Yeah.
at those wall stones. The pungent odor within the cell tells you that the unfortunate prisoner's been here a long time. Let's maybe hit the wall and knock a stone loose.
That could work.
That will leave a bruise. Ah. I remember in original Shadowgate, there was some stone, if you punched it, you knocked it loose.
Yep. It was behind the waterfall cave, if I recall correctly.
I think
There was
so.
a little, but there was a bulge there to let you know that there was a secret, and you could
Right.
click on it separate from the rest.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's true. But we don't see anything like that in here, huh?
We looked at all the crates though, so let's check this one out. Just make sure it's the same.
Yeah, you can look
Very
at
eye on
anything
the
that you
filthy
want.
prisoner,
Okay.
hoping that he won't touch you and give you some disease.
This grate doesn't
Okay.
have its own hitbox for anything special.
Yeah.
All right, so we
But,
still need to find a stone. So maybe it's in a
Yeah.
different cell,
Let's maybe look out the door before we go out there though. And
or
then
does
sort
the
of
or
still
the
out there.
or the coin is the projectile?
Or the flint.
Yeah,
Could try putting them together.
yeah. Let's do use flint on sling. Item does not work. Okay.
That tells you right there.
Well, let's just might as well rule out the farthing thing then while we're at it.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, truly we need a proper round stone. Makes sense. Okay. So let's go ahead and move out here. Do we see any? I guess we can keep on moving, huh? The Minotaur's not
Well,
there.
actually, wait. Before you do that, you think you can take the torch? It might be up too high, but maybe we try taking the torch.
Yeah, it is up pretty high. Spots dance before your eyes after staring at the burning torch. Okay, it didn't say we can't take it. You cannot take it. Okay.
Now
So
it's
the Minotaur is not
That's
the Minotaur is not there, so we can keep moving.
Yeah.
We just need to find
that
a
does
stone.
seem to be the case.
Right, there is though. So
Yep.
All right.
this one is different in that there are manacles on the walls though.
Yeah.
So
These manacles were probably used to hold some poor wretch awaiting their execution. For the time being, they are unoccupied. Okay. This iron grill drains away the refuse of the dungeons. Locked door. As is usually customary in dungeons, the door is locked and cannot open the barred one. Within the cell, you hear a growl and then a loud thud as something hurls itself against the inside of the door. You now have a good idea of why the door is heavily barred and permanently sealed.
I like how the descriptions,
love it.
they keep iterating into more different versions.
Yes, I appreciate the variations, and I also appreciate how this game lets you use your imagination. That's what I love about old games.
I also like how it gets a
Old
little bit snarky, in the same way a good dungeon master would.
Yeah.
Well, it's a dungeon, so the door is locked.
Yeah, there's that one comment from the Wisp girl that was kind of snarky. I like that. I like that better than if she was just a pure like, I'm this perfect angel and I love you automatically. All right, let's open up. Let's unlock the door. Okay. With a smile, you gently turn the key in the lock, releasing the mechanism. Maybe we'll find a stone in this room. You cannot move there? Huh? Oh, we're gonna open
the door is still closed.
Sorry. This is just truly old school. You gotta open the door and then move in. Okay, here we go. The Minotaur
Considering that
continues to patrol.
Considering closing the door is a puzzle that you have to do to survive, kind of important to open a door.
Right.
Yeah.
The Minotaur continues to patrol. Now, I'm seeing something on the wall here, this dark spot.
Yeah.
The cell contains an unfortunate occupant of this dungeon. By the look of him, you can tell he has been here for some time. Alright, well, let's talk. Listen, Thinling, go quickly from here lest we both be killed. Escape this dungeon. Tell the people that Joshua, the king's counsel, is unjustly imprisoned. It has been ages since our party was assaulted and the king captured. They intend us to die here, but I refuse. I pried the stone from the wall. Okay, thus the dark hole.
All right.
Oh, and he's got like hatch marks of how long he's been in here.
Alright, now we have a projectile.
Poor bloke. I pried the stone from the wall, but the forsaken manacles cannot be broken. Take it, find a way out, and free us from this pit. All right, let's sling and crack that Minotaur upside his head. We're going to take stone. Okay, and we want to use stone on sling. Or use sling on stone. Now you've got something useful. Loaded sling. Awesome. Okay. Whatever. Okay. So we want to move forward.
Specific.
Right?
Oh.
Oh, look at that casual lean against the wall for the Minotaur. He just needs to be like flipping a coin or smoking a cigarette.
Yep.
Well, let's just whack him. Use it on Minotaur's head, right between the eyes. A look of fury paints the beast's face as he takes notice of you. The hulking figure of the Minotaur fills the hall, his axe ready to strike.
My favorite line.
There is but a moment before he buries the blade in your body. You must act now.
Quick time event.
Oh.
As soon as you start twirling the sling, you feel a magical influence take over your body. Death to the Philistine! Yeah!
That's a line.
Yeah, sure. Because
Oh, wait, so hold on.
in
You
the
said that was
original,
reference to the first
in the
Shadowgate.
original Shadowgate, you knocked a Minotaur
What?
out with a
That's
Not a
sling
Minotaur.
stone. An
A
ogre.
giant.
Yeah, an
A
ogre
giant.
or a giant. Yeah.
There
And
was
you
an
said
actual
the
giant in
death.
the courtyard.
And you said the death
It's
of
also
the
from the
Philistine.
Bible.
line.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
It's
From
yeah,
yeah.
Goliath
David's-
was a Philistine.
David
David
slaying
and Goliath.
David slaying Goliath.
The sling.
But It was
Yes.
also the classic line from the original Shadowgate,
Yeah.
where you have to assemble your sling exactly. You get the
Okay.
stone, and you fire that off, and you get like 20 stones or something, but you only actually, I think, like one time,
Yeah.
unless you want to like throw stones.
You can like overload your inventory with stones on the first
Yep.
Shadowgate.
Now, you could also knock the giant out. If you don't kill him, he will stand back up the next time you come through, and he will make a no-win game state because you can't beat him again.
Yeah, that's
What
true.
you have to do is throw the stone, knock him out, charge him with your sword, and plunge it while he's unconscious.
Yeah.
And that kills him.
Yeah,
and then you can
in
permanently
true
go.
David and Goliath fashion.
Yeah. Because
Everyone,
remember, guys,
everyone remembers a sling knocking Goliath out, but everyone
Right.
forgets that after that, David came, drew his sword, and decapitated him.
I mean, always finish the job. Coup de grace,
Yeah.
your enemy.
Yes. All right.
Otherwise,
maybe
he'll get back up and pummel you.
You
Combat
resolve
is
to never
war.
admit the shot was sheer luck,
Yeah.
or explain why you randomly called a 7-foot half-man, half-bull a Philistine. Can we take his battle axe?
You thought of the exact same thing that I thought of.
Ah,
Too
we
heavy.
can't take the battle axe. Oh.
It's
Can't
too
beat
heavy.
Goliath.
You're like a halfling, man. I assume that's what a like.
It's a large size heavy weapon, and we're a small size character.
Yeah.
Alright, looks
Okay.
like there are 2 locked doors that can be opened with keys, though.
And a
Does look
stairway.
like that.
This
There's a
locked,
stairway.
heavy wooden door would take ages to break through. This door is made of nigh indestructible wood from the Torlin forest. It is also locked. Your heart leaps with excitement as you see stairs ascending out of this accursed dungeon. You notice a stairway at the end of the dungeon hallway. Can I take this torch? Okay.
I don't
So
think
my
the torch is
guess, my guess is opening these doors kills us, and going up the stairs is the exit.
It could be.
So let's get killed. Come on.
Sure.
3 minotaurs come charging out of the door and chop you into many pieces. Yep, you're
It was
open.
way out there, Esper.
Okay.
You notice that a thick layer of dust seems to be resting on everything within the cell. It's obvious that this particular room hasn't been used for a very long time.
Now, to get into trouble, that floor grate, yeah, it does look different than the others.
I see that mark, that bit in the corner there. The grate is bent just enough for you to fit your fingers underneath. Unfortunately, it's too heavy to lift with your hands alone. We need some kind of
Pry bar or something,
Pry
yeah.
bar, yeah.
Leverage. You need some leverage.
Right.
Okay. So maybe then going up the stairs gets us killed because there's like guards waiting for us just right up.
I assume
be.
that everything's gonna kill you, Esper.
Because I've played a lot of Shadowgate. Well,
But
what have I
have
done?
you-
Oh my goodness, I hit the wrong.
Yeah.
After fumbling with the keys for an embarrassing amount of time, you're relieved to hear the lock slide open. Alright. We will open the door, and we will move.
Oh,
Royal
Who's this
Cell. It says Royal
Huh.
Cell. The weary prisoner looks up at you. A glimmer of hope fills his eyes. He says, I know not who thou art, little one. Okay, yeah, we must be a halfling then. But I have no choice but to trust thee.
your name
Know
is like
that I am
Del
King
Edinburgh,
Aranda.
right?
Lord of Kal Torlin, warder of this... Warder? Shouldn't be warden.
Yeah, warder. No,
Warder of
That's
the
warder.
Southern Seas.
it's the title. Titles don't
It's-
have to make sense.
Sure. And actually, I can tell this has been very spotlessly proofread, so I'm gonna stop with the spelling suggestions. Ward of the Southern Seas, and still do I live. Listen carefully, my wayward friend. Fiends have usurped my castle, imprisoned me and my loyal confidants within this dungeon for reasons unknown. Those who keep me alive do so because I refuse to tell them where the royal seal has been kept for time immemorial. Suddenly you hear the jailer, whom you gallantly knocked out, thank you very much, start yelling at the top of his lungs. We couldn't have chopped his head off with that axe. Should have just not given the Minotaur an axe. Just give him his claws and his fangs and just let him like devour us with his bare hands. Because not being able to chop his head off with the axe, that like boils my gamer buttons.
This is the demo. This puzzle could be completely revised.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure. The king looks alarmed, his speech quickening. Take this! A rusty butter knife. He rips the emblem from his sleeve and hands it to you. Find the man who is called the Hunter. He and a few others I trust will recognize this crest. Tell the Hunter, the raven still lives in the depths. Sort of
Good writing.
Yeah, sort of an Edgar Allan Poe nod there. The pit and the pendulum, the raven.
Yeah.
Outside the cell,
Perhaps.
the jailer continues to bellow. The royal seal is obscured by sorcery. There is a scroll containing the disenchantment spell behind a loose stone in a castle stair. Seek the hidden way from my chamber and say to thyself the words from the scroll. Quickly now, ye must leave before the god returns.
Alright, well wait, before we do though, what's that on the floor by the chains? That's some object.
Uh-huh. The upper part of the bone is... Aha! That could be our pry bar right there.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, let's go ahead and take the
Also,
bone.
Remind me I have a thought at the end of this.
You guys want me to look?
To do...
Sure.
Sure.
Cell stinks bad. Opening leads to the... Okay, so let's just go ahead and move,
Not
right?
a lot to
Yeah.
look at. It's very bare bones demo. Not
Oh, I
lots
thought
of
it was saying
distractions.
that the Minotaur had gotten back up and was bellowing.
Oh, the jailer is the guy who tripped over the bench.
The jailer!
Yeah.
the guy who's back
Okay.
in the cell.
All right.
Yeah.
They're called jailer keys. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Shut that. I don't know if I needed to, but...
Yeah, couldn't hurt.
All right.
Right.
You lever the bone under the bent grate and push down with all your might. Something gives way and the grate flies open just as the bone snaps apart.
Nice.
Nice.
Want to go back out and go up the stairs? It'll go back to... Where does it go back to? It goes
Yeah,
back
let's
to the
go.
last
Let's go
decision
get
you
killed
made?
on the stairs.
Okay,
do this
do
like-
you.
I want to see the deaths.
I never went up the stairs in my demo, but then
Oh,
again,
we'll
I
find
didn't
out.
die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Saving. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and just save, just in case that's necessary.
It's not.
Huh. Your heart sinks as you see a door blocking your path. Get the Minotaur's great axe, chop the door down.
You're a halfling. You're a fenling.
Even jumping from the step, you still can't reach the torch. Okay. So, does the key not work on the door?
Let's find out. It might.
You sigh with dismay as you
Oh,
finish trying the
okay.
last of the keys. So it must just be the keys to the actual cells.
Right.
Well, the door is barred on the other side to prevent escapes, like
There must be another way out of
the
this
one
time.
that you're currently.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, now let's see if we wasted so much time the Minotaur's back. No. Okay. Nice.
Oh, nice. That makes me think of the original Shadowgate, the cave room. Fearlessly, you jumped down into the drain, thinking that it can't be any worse than an enraged Minotaur. You fall an indeterminate distance for hitting cold water. Okay, so actually I do have a spelling suggestion. It's not spelling, it's just grammar. It put that prior sentence in past tense. Everything else has been in present tense. So I think it should say you jump down, not you jumped down. Gasping for air, you bob to the surface of a subterranean river, smashing your head into a low-hanging stalactite. Ouch.
Ouch.
You quickly lose consciousness, and the current carries you down the river. You wake to discover that you have been washed ashore. Shivering and coughing, you shake your head in hopes of clearing away your double vision. So what do we see here? We see stones going across the river. This looks like a further tunnel. And
Is
over
that
here
Just
looks
start
like a little-
clicking.
A spider or something?
Just start
that-
clicking your
that
look.
looks like a trickle. You can see a passageway carved out of
okay.
rock. At the end, a bucket rests in a
bucket,
pool
alright.
of water.
So it's a well.
It's a well, yeah. A dim glow illuminates this passageway. Okay, so we've got a tunnel, and we've got the bottom of a well then. So we can move up
Right.
either one, huh? You shiver uncontrollably as you look into the swiftly flowing river. You are never noted for your swimming abilities, and the thought of braving the water again fills you with dread. Huh. So I guess we have to cross the underground river to get to the bottom of the well?
Right, which there are stones that you can do that.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we drown. So do I want to move onto a specific
Maybe
stone?
try clicking the other side of the river. That might...
You
Maybe.
usually move, you click on like a door or these boxes that tell you, where
I
exits
see.
are.
Okay.
Whatever, here we go. Let's drown. Against your better judgment, you plunge
Up to
headlong into the river.
5 deaths.
Yep. Sploosh.
This is one of the.
Splash.
This was one of the 2 original deaths that I thought.
Glub, glub, glub.
This was one of the places I died because I wanted to test exactly what I was thinking, but I also kind of was like, this is gonna kill. I just got to see if it does.
Ah.
All right. Now, I suspect she'll hit 6 deaths here in a minute,
Yeah, probably.
but I have to see. I just want to see what you do.
Damp cavern. Okay. Waterfall. You hear scratching and scuffling sounds coming from beyond this passageway. Hmm. And we have no more... We don't have the sling anymore.
No, you
The
use the
sling?
sling.
Yeah.
The
Oh.
river.
You don't
The
throw
river
the sling,
swept it
you
away.
just-
The river took your sling.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I guess we dropped it.
Plus, let's be honest, Esper, it was a hastily assembled, like, in prison
apart.
sling.
It fell apart after one
Yeah.
usage.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you used it pretty hard to knock out a minotaur. You must have been weighing that.
This damp and dreary cavern is aglow with light reflected off the water's surface. A waterfall
least you got
feeds the
light.
powerful river beyond. You hear the powerful roar of the river as it rapidly flows into the tunnel.
Wonder
So
if
there's
you can look
something
behind-
something is lurking back there, huh?
Yeah.
I don't
You look
notice
behind
anything.
the waterfall? Is there a separate click?
I guarantee, Esper, everything can be logic. Like, there's no, like, leaps of ridiculousness that you have to make.
Right, right.
You should be able to figure this out by using just observation and either trial and error, or this connects to this because my brain has a connection between these.
Mm-hmm.
That makes logical sense.
Okay, so we have a flint, but there's nothing to light. The king's emblem is like an important quest item that we're going to keep. Jailer's keys will do nothing here. Farthing. Now, there was a well back there. I wonder if we could have tossed the coin in the well and made a wish.
Could be.
Or we could flick the coin here and see if it
Distracts
Draws.
whatever is making this scratching noise.
distracts that. We could talk to Ghosty, but I really want to avoid that. I'd rather just die. That's interesting. All right, use Farthing, and we'll go ahead and flick it over there. Item is useless there. It doesn't work there. Okay, let's go back and see if we can flick it into the well. Coin in the wishing well, maybe? Nothing happened. Okay, so that's
Too far
it's
away.
just not it's just not close enough.
Not the
to it.
proper place to use that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Well, let's go ahead and move and see what kills us. Whoa!
Oh,
A beast den. Now we're not getting that timer. Are
So,
those eggs
take
or
this-
silver coins?
Why don't you look at
Ah,
things?
Silver coins.
right.
Look
It's
at
a large
everything.
horde of gleaming silver farthings
There we
that
go.
any
There
thief
we
would be
go.
willing to kill for. You absolutely have absolutely no idea what this creature is, but it appears to be some sort of mutation straight out of one of your grandfather's famous tales. You vow to take his stories a little more seriously from now on. Okay, let's give him the coin, otherwise he'll eat us. Or wait, do we want to get the description of the monster eating us?
That's up to you.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Oh. There's no other doors. All right, so let's just back up and see if he eats us.
Or you could, yeah.
The beast looks up at you, making you feel decidedly uncomfortable. It can smell the farthing in your pocket. It surely wants to add it to its collection. Even it has to rip you apart to get it. Yeah,
So
well, I'm gonna steal your coins. It has coins in its eyes. With a quick lunge, the hulking beast attacks you, ripping out a good-sized portion of your neck.
Doesn't it kind of remind you of Gollum from the
Rankin and Bass one? Kind of.
Yes.
It also reminds me of the thing in the crate from Creepshow.
Okay.
And you know what? How that gets initially discovered is when the janitor drops his quarter and it like rolls beyond that little doorway under the stairs in the basement of the college, and he goes trying to get his quarter out from there, and then he opens up that crate and the Sasquatch Antarctica beast thing like eats his face off.
Well, that's 6 Esper, and that was the place where I thought you would die as well, because basically as soon as you trigger that, you either do the right thing or you die, and that's where I died my first death.
Well, that one was intentional, though.
That one was very intentional. It was obvious you had to give him the coin.
Intentional. Yeah. I'm just curious if you're going to die a couple more times for this out now.
Yes.
So we're on 6.
Yes, I will.
You can't see it, but...
I want to see all the deaths. All right, so let's go ahead and use Farthing.
No.
The beast looks up at you, making you feel decidedly uncomfortable. It can smell the farthing in your pocket. Okay.
How does this help you, though?
So there's no, like, drop.
Pile.
Okay, put it in his hand. Whoa! Still kills you. Well.
He doesn't want you... You know, he wants it from you, but you can't just hand it to him. Alright, you're up to 7.
Okay. Okay.
You must need to throw it.
I think you just need to wait.
Oh.
Just wait and let him take it. Right? Because it says he wants your farthing.
Even if he has to rip you apart, though, so I feel like that...
It can smell the farthing in your pocket. Surely wants to add it to its collection. Even has to rip you apart to get it. So, I'll just make it so that he doesn't have to rip me apart. Just take it. Move, look, take, open, hit. Yeah, there's no drop.
No, there is no drop. Because it is not necessary at all for this. This should be a...
No.
Oh,
right,
dang, he still
8.
kills. Oh, my.
So it says it's in your pocket, so you need to take it out and do something with it.
Take farthing. It cannot be taken. Open.
Can you use it on the ground?
Open self?
Oh.
Open self? That doesn't make any sense. Speak?
Maybe you can...
No, so no matter what you do in here, you're going to, like, get his attention with whatever action.
Yeah.
Right.
But now you need to decide, what do you do?
You might
if
be
you
able
don't
to use
want
it
to
on
die.
the ground.
Yeah. It's like, there should be like a drop option.
What does dropping that do for you?
Or throw it.
Say that again, Warsor? What does dropping that do?
What does dropping it do for you? Why won't he just kill you anyway?
Because it's not on my body anymore.
You're still in his lair.
So just leave?
Use it on the beast's mouth? Huh.
He's chasing you. Alright, you got seconds.
Ah, okay.
What you gonna do?
Keep going, River.
Oh, you're too slow. That's 9.
Slow.
I'll tell you that you were just too slow.
It was just too slow? Okay.
Yep. Alright. I think you got the idea now.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're on 9. Alright, what you gonna do?
Throw it in the river. Nice.
You pull your lucky Finling farthing from your pocket. The creature stares at the coin as you hurl it into the water. With something resembling a squeal of pleasure, the beast plunges into the swirling waters and starts forging along the bottom of the river for the shiny coin. You are impressed with its strength as it stands against the river's strong current. Looks like a bridge to cross over to the bottom of the well to me.
Sure does, yeah.
With a hop, skip, and a jump, you quickly leap from the beast's back and safely cross the river. Well, this surely is a well. At least it's some sign of civilization. You feel relief as freedom is close at hand. Lucky well. After an exhausting climb, your hand grasps the lip of the well as the rope snaps free and falls below. Wow. Panting and hanging on for your life, you grab the stone wall with both hands and clamber over the lip of the well, landing in the mud with a dull thud. Glancing around to make sure no one saw you embarrassingly knock the wind out of yourself, you take ample time to rise to your feet, easy as pie. You gasp while catching your breath and thinking to yourself, there's not a dungeon in the world that can hold Del Thornborough. Looking ahead, you see city streets expand before you. A sigh of relief escapes as the sun warms your face and a breeze ruffles your hair. Suddenly, the charge of your king echoes through your mind. Find the royal seal! Expose the traitors and save the kingdom! Remembering the king's plight, you steel your nerves and step forth into the city of Gwynenthel. Your determination is strong and an unusual feeling. Your determination is strong, an unusual feeling for a Finling. You sense you'll end up regretting this decision. It seems like the end of the demo? Town Square.
No. Okay, here we go.
First demo's in. All right. Okay.
9 deaths, Esper. I'm so disappointed in you.
I know. I was hoping I would get a nice even 10. Oh, look, we got some previews. There's like a forest with mushrooms, sacked village on fire.
Honestly,
interior of a manor, perhaps a wasteland at night.
Castle
Stair, yeah.
With a rock that has a border around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are all just classic little
Forest,
scenes. So the thing about
tunnel.
Shadowgate is basically it's a, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, like it's a landscape. It shows you like a picture.
Yeah.
And then you click around the picture for most of the game. So these are a lot of locations.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently there's significantly more locations or scenes in this new game compared to the original one.
I've already backed the Kickstarter myself. So.
Nice. Yeah, I jumped on that as soon as I saw it.
Yep.
Wow. I'm
So, I have many things
that
I would love to
just envisioning all the things you can click on in those different.
And this is just the intro.
Yeah.
Again.
I'm gonna turn the music down a tick, and we can.
I appreciate that. Much appreciated, Esper.
I want to play the full game. That's my initial reaction.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
like, my little kid me is like giddy with excitement. I'm so happy about this.
That's great. Adam, what was your impression? I'm real curious because you never played the Shadowgate.
Right, I've played a lot of similar games. I played Zork, I played Myst, a couple other things even that were basically just direct Shadowgate ripoffs. But I think I'm like just about a year or two too young for Shadowgate to have really been on my radar growing up. But yeah, it had a lot of D&D in it. It had a lot of that classic point-and-click adventure game to it. I actually admittedly thought it was a bit more text-based originally. Like you would, type in like use this on that or get flask or stuff like that.
It was before the text-based parser games came in the 90s. This was in the 80s. where you just had the buttons.
The original one, like Zork, that was all text-based. That was, when did that come out? 70?
Yeah, that's true. They did have the parser back then, now that I think about it. It's just, this was moving away from that.
Well, so now that, here we are, it said 35 years. I bet is that actually 35 years ago that the original came out? That'd be a nice Easter egg.
I played the NES version like many people did. I bought it from Toys R Us, like off the shelf. I saw that gargoyle cover, and I loved gargoyles.
Nice.
I still like them quite a bit. And it's a Shadowgate. Whoa, I want that one, Mom. And like spent my Christmas money or allowance money or whatever and took it home. And it was a game unlike any other game I'd ever played before. It really captivated me.
For sure. I have 3 comments myself that are just ideas as I've watched you play this. One, back to the beginning, we were talking about the old Shadowgate. Same developer made Deja Vu. Did you ever play that game?
I didn't. I read the Nintendo Power article for it, but as a kid, I was super touchy. I was very picky about genre, and I usually just liked fantasy and horror.
100% get it. It's the same style of unforgiving. You make one mistake, you could screw yourself from finishing the game because you missed a clue or something. But that was a real fun game. Very Shadowgate style. Reminded me.
But noir sleuth.
Oh yeah, a mystery, and you have amnesia. So one of the things I want to say, as I was playing through this, or watching you play through this, everything is much more logical, in my opinion. Like, some of the things in the original Shadowgate, you had to make these leaps of, where do I use this this rod with the snake? Why am I holding on to this item? And it's like, where do I find the snake thing to do that? Or where do I use the scroll? There's a scroll that's like Terra, open the heavens or something. And you had to like figure out this sort of like, it's not the best. A little more
cryptic, a little more obtuse.
Yeah, but this one seems a lot more accessible. And what my thought is, to finish this, I'm hoping that maybe they're going to have different difficulties, where they change the puzzles. Would be nice. Even if it's just 2 difficulties, one for casual, which would be like what we just played, and then one for more of what Esper, you and me kind of want to, more cryptic puzzles, the more you need to try pulling these 3 levers, like up and down, and you have to figure out the puzzle to do that, and there's very few hints, but they're around. You have to put the pieces together.
Yeah.
Like a mode where it drops hints to later things in earlier rooms.
Yeah. And even just for replayability, if you create 2 different modes like that, you could just play it in the casual, because it would be different puzzles. And then you could play it again in the hardcore mode with different puzzles where you think, okay, I need to like use these items to slingshot the minotaur. But what if there's another step? What if you need to like have the minotaur, maybe you do need to kill the minotaur because it
out into the hallway, stand on the bench to grab the torch to burn his body, burn him alive, so he doesn't get back up and kill you.
Exactly. In the hardcore mode, maybe the minotaur gets back up after a period of time, and you do need to find a way to kill him. I tried using the minotaur, trying to stab the minotaur with the bone when I did it, because I was like, what can I use to kill the minotaur? But it's just thoughts.
Or some mode where, like in the easier mode, you have some item in your pocket from the dungeon that you keep when you fall down below that makes something easier later once you climb out of the well. Or and then the hardcore mode, if you you have some item and some other item, by having them both, you prevent the one item from falling out of your pocket or something like that.
Do either of you play a series of adventure games called King's Quest? Have you heard of those?
I've seen them played. I haven't
familiar to me.
directly myself, but yeah.
It's a very famous series of adventure games, and I'm sure the people listening to this video and know will be like, I love King's Quest. Well, I'm going to reference King's Quest 5. I hope I'm not getting the numbers mixed up. Yeah, I think 5 is the one.
I've never
Um,
played these.
There's like 9 of them now or
I'm
something.
looking
Like
at King's
there's a
Quest
ton of them.
5. It looks beautiful.
It is. I highly recommend it. Um, we'll get back to that though. We can talk about that another time. What I wanted to point out is that game had multiple endings based on the choices that you made in the game. There was like a good ending, and there was the best ending where you saved everyone. Like some of them, people could die, and you at the ending they kind of went through their, if you save things. And then there was like a really grim ending where almost nobody lives, and then there's like when you lose, obviously. But so there were choices.
Beyond Shadowgate is going to have 3 endings, 3 different endings.
Nice. I was going to say items like you were just talking about that could make it easier. For things like that in that game, you could hold on to items, or you could use them to make life easier. If you use those items to make your life easier in the short term, you missed out on the best ending, the long-term thing.
Right.
If you use them for their proper purpose at a certain point in the game. So there were definitely things like that you could do and put into this game.
It's funny, just now talking about this and other games, it reminds me of the most recent game of this style that I've played, which it's been a while now. It's a game called The Longing, which is that one where it operates in real time, and it is a point and click where you wander around as this guy underground waiting for the king of the earth to wake up. And it takes over a year, something like 400 days of actual time if you want to just wait it out for the king to wake up. Or you could escape, and I believe the way you do that is by climbing out of a well, which I assume is like a nod. I don't know if the original Shadowgate has something where you climb out of a well, but it could well be a nod to that.
There is a well, but you don't climb in and out of it, as far as I can recall. Let's focus on Shadowgate for a moment, though. One thing I want to say is the story. I love the story. Like, it's simple at the beginning. They just give you a little bit of an intro. You don't need to know the previous game.
Yeah.
Right.
They give you, like, 4 pages of, like, less than a paragraph. It's like a sentence.
There's
4 sentences.
An ideal short amount of setup. Yeah, a nice
it's
little
like a D&D
bite-sized exposition.
Exactly. They don't over-exposition you, and you immediately know what's happening. As soon as you go into it presents the scenario. You were unjustly imprisoned, although you might have, you're one of those halflings that maybe had sticky fingers with the Duchess, and took something of hers. But that's all the motivation that you need. You're trying to escape. You know that sitting here is not going to improve your situation. So waiting is not the answer. And you get the impression very early on that these guards are not the lawful good, kingdom. They are monsters. They are, jailers who are trying to kill you. And no one's going to look out for you except for yourself. So you better very quickly make survival primary motivation.
Yeah, it's like the D&D. It introduces your character, introduces a scenario, gives you a goal, and throws you into it.
I do like also the king.
It's slightly Elder Scrolls like.
Well,
it remind me of the beginning
Scrolls,
of Oblivion.
Okay.
Except the king wasn't imprisoned in that. The king came to you. You find that the king is imprisoned in this as you're escaping.
Right.
And he asks you to.
It has a very old school plot line of like the evil forces have taken over. Like Beastmaster had that, and Conan the Barbarian had that, and the Lone Wolf game books had that. That was a very common theme in old school swords and sorcery type fantasy.
Well, there's going to be an epic adventure.
Oh good, you're finally awake. It actually gives you the little prelude to that.
Yeah.
What I'm really curious about is they're going to release more demo, I presume, as they go further in development. I'm curious about the point when it takes us back to Castle Shadowgate. I'm wondering if they're going to use the exact, some of the room layout from the original, because I could map that entire place in my head right. I could tell you go straight, go through a secret passage, pull this to activate, and it'd be really cool to see
those rooms
the
of the original Shadowgate are they have so much style and personality to them.
Yep.
I
can't wait.
There's something about that lends to the easy mappability in your head. So
here's the thing.
Let's wrap things up with some quick constructive criticism.
Sure.
So I have 2. Overall, I'm very happy with this, and I can't wait to play the whole game. That's my overall impression. Constructive criticism: the little ghostly wisp girl. I could do without that personally. The style of it's a little too Pokemon. It doesn't fit really well with the style of Shadowgate, and you could easily just put like a little hint tome icon or something, or some NPC in the dungeon that could give you a hint.
It might be crucial to the story.
It might be.
Is my only point.
Yeah, it might be. There might be a point in the story later where Ghosty is has to help you speak with the willow wisps in the swamp or something.
Or also, there's your simple versus hardcore mode is whether you have the hint ghost or not.
And then my other constructive criticism is actually contrasting it with original Shadowgate, what I just said, where each room has so much personality and style. The dungeon, the jail of this one was pretty straightforward, pretty simple, nothing to get too excited about. I understand it is, the dungeon in the classic sense of the underground prison. So, how exotic and magical can it really get? But I would have appreciated a little bit more flair and touch, and who knows, maybe the other locations you go to make up for that and are just back to the
I would say that this is a demo.
Yeah.
It's not fully descriptive. It doesn't have all the things, accessible yet. I think they definitely should add more things like you're saying.
I feel like it actually
I would certainly appreciate that.
The hallway there, I think, was intentional. It had a couple of things that repeated the same basic layout just to get you used to, especially if you haven't played the original or anything like it before, the idea that, okay, yes, I need to do this. I can unlock this door. I need to close it so the minotaur doesn't get me. It builds you on that, and then it throws you down into the river, and then you got to fend for yourself a bit more.
I was going to say, as soon as you climb out of the well, I would imagine the game gets open. Right. Because you have now freedom to choose.
Exactly.
The dungeon did feel very linear, but that's what you want in a demo. You don't want people getting lost and being like, I can't finish this demo. I don't have any idea what to do.
It's a fast-paced, push factor driving you forward one-shot session that starts at the D&D game.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, this demo could be very easily inflated a bit more. They could add, this is not the final game. They could very much be how we're doing the intro of the game. Mm-hmm. We're doing a much more detailed, sequence of more puzzles, for example. Yeah. Maybe you do need to use that chain, what if you chained it to the leg of the thing if it was bolted?
Right.
That provides a trip line that then the guy would trip over.
Like the bench, but different. Yeah.
That's the thing.
Two different scenarios. One where you use a table to trip him. One where you use the chain to trip him, which denies you using the chain for something else, or
Well, I think it would be cool to have the hardcore mode and the casual mode. I don't know how feasible that will be for this project, but wish list kind of item. I think that'd be nice.
Shadowgate Returns was a game that came out many years ago. That was sort of a redo of Shadowgate, and they had 2 modes in it. They had the original mode, which had all the same things as the original game. All the puzzles were the same, and they had a separate mode which changed all the puzzles. So you would actually be playing a different game in the Shadowgate dungeon. And that was intriguing because it let people go back and play the game a second time, even after playing it in the original Shadowgate mode. So I think
had
it's
no idea about that.
doable.
Shadowgate returns.
Oh, I told you about this, Esper. I told
Did you?
you so many times. Yes. I
Okay.
even was like, we should play this on a live stream, a let's play. Anyways,
It was on
Yes.
Game Boy Color.
let's not drag the video out too long. I didn't want to get into the weeds.
let's wrap things up there.
Yeah.
So, thanks for going through this with me, guys.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun. Can't wait to play
Absolutely.
the full game. And anyone who's watched this, if you're so inclined, go check out the Kickstarter. I'll put the link down in the video description and show them some support and some love.
It really does look really cool.
Oh yeah.
Looking forward to this.
Right on. All right, everybody. I'll see you in the next video sometime
And
soon.
of course, speaking of Kickstarters,
Speaking of Kickstarters,
Monsters.
also, have you heard I am running a Kickstarter for Monstrous Heroes, a 5e book that is all about playing monstrous characters. So check out
such
that
as
as well.
Minotaurs.
Such
Ari
as
was
Minotaurs.
funded in the first 12 hours, but we're going for those stretch goals.
Going for a
Come
lot
on,
of
help
stretch
us-
goals.
We've already
Help
got
us
the
get the Hag. Help us get the Sphinx. Oh man,
Yeah.
I'd love to get the Sphinx. But yeah, so
All right, guys, we'll
join.
wrap it up there and see you in the next video sometime soon. May your adventures be many.
absolutely.